Over to you, Amit. Please
Thank you
bring
so
it
much.
to him.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. I understand your
Welcome.
impatience. Well, we all are excited. I'm sure all the viewers around the world must be excited. And I am so very eager to introduce the next speaker under the session of relationships. Well, masters in yoga for human excellence and certified in integrated Ayush therapy and counseling, this ever smiling personality has been grooming today's youth with specialized guidance in leadership skills and business acumen. Well, she has been recognized by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for her proficiency in simplified Kundalini Yoga, I'm really sorry. Investing her last 10 plus years into empowering individuals of various walks of life by empowering them and transforming their world and bringing power into their relationships. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are we waiting for? Let's put a big smile on our faces as we call upon our next speaker, this profound life coach, soft skill trainer, and a wonderful persona. Let's give it up for Mrs. Jayashree Harish. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Amit. Give me 30 seconds. I'll just share this. Yes. So thank you, Amit. Can you hear me? Amit, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes, please go ahead.
Such a privilege to be among you today. I thank you in advance for your time and for your attention. My gratitude to the super consciousness, to the entire world transformation warrior team, and to you for our coming together today. My name is Jayashree. I'm a life coach and I'm committed to partnering with you in bringing rigor in your communication and nurturing your relationships. I would like to begin by first of all thanking all the wonderful speakers till now. Awesome. And I want to thank Dr. Gupta for making my work easier because he really set the foundation for communication so wonderfully. And I have to start with my own personal sharing. Talking about communicating to self, it is one of the most important things which most people ignore. I'll come to the main topic later, but I have to share that because Dr. Gupta really inspired me. And Aditya had mentioned affirmations. Believe me, to handle my intense disc issue and my back pain, I have communicated to myself and I've communicated in a way that the affirmations helped me manage my pain. Finally, though I underwent surgery, the journey between 2012 to 2017 for the 5 years, I think what has worked maximum among others is my communication to myself. So let me come back to what I wish to share. See, we've been hearing amazing insights on relationships so far from all the expert speakers. Now it's time to shift our attention to what? To what keeps a relationship alive? Communication. Here, we are talking about relationship with self, with family, friends, co-workers, business associates, romantic partners, and anyone you wish to connect with. What is communication? It comes from the Latin word communicatio, which means sharing or imparting. What do you communicate? Communication involves the sharing of an idea, an emotion, a feeling, and it can take the form of a question as well. So, do we do all this? Of course, yes, all the time. So, then is there any issue? Not at all, provided the purpose of your communication is fulfilled. Now, what is the purpose behind any sharing or imparting? I really liked when Dr. Gupta mentioned understanding. Honestly, the answer to this $1 million question is the desired outcome or goal of any communication process is mutual understanding. Now, another question. How often do we feel fully understood? You did not answer, but you can definitely put it in the chat. Let me tell you, the options may be somewhat understood, not understood at all, and the worst, completely misunderstood. Believe me, if you are in the last category, it can be most devastating. But we are mostly in one of those categories. Now, let us look at what is the root of all this. The answer is in plural. It's called myths. Now, what is a myth? Again, a myth is from Latin. It means an idea or story which is not true, but it is believed to be true. So, what is one example of myth? We think that thinking about weight loss will reduce weight. No, it's a myth because that's not true. But most of us, 90% of us, keep thinking about losing weight. So, what will actually reduce weight? Taking action will. So, let's keep that aside now. That was just an example. I know it just triggers so many thoughts in people's mind now. So, let me bring you back. That was just an example of a myth. So, what are the myths in communication? See, there are many myths, but let me address a few of them, the most important of them. First one is, if someone speaks very fluently, we tend to think how the person is communicating well. But is it true? It certainly isn't. Believe me, you would have met a lot of people who speak very fluently, but then do they connect with you? Some may, but most of the time, catch yourself reiterating your question to them. That clearly shows that they are speaking only. Now, when you repeat your question, you realize that they are just speaking and only in their order of the sentence they will answer you. They will not answer you and answer your specific question. Got it? So the next thing is, many think communication is about speaking only. Is communication only about speaking? Not really. See, what I am doing now is actually one sided. I'm speaking. Am I communicating? Not exactly until I have a confirmation that you are getting what I'm saying. And not only that, I'm interacting with you. So currently it is one sided. I'm speaking. True. So if it is not speaking, then what is communication? Let's look at this image. In the total communication process, the time taken for communicating through writing is only 9%, through speaking, only 30%, and through reading, only 16%. So that leaves us with 45% of something. What is that? That's listening. So, what is listening? Well, let's see what it is not. Just like my topic, let's see what communication is not. Same way, let us see what listening is not. Listening is definitely not hearing. Now, what is hearing? It is a biological function of some sound passing through. Now, if listening is not just hearing, then what is it? Before that, let us see the one image here. After Dr. Gupta said, don't use problem, I don't want to use, but it is not written by me. It is a pic I have taken. The biggest challenge in communication is that we do not listen to understand. Remember, to be understood is the main purpose of communication. But believe it or not, 90% of the time, we listen only to reply. We do not listen to understand. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me just give you an example. Let us say your friend has come late to meet you. Now, you may ask, why did you come late? Now, observe how you listen. Till now, how you would have listened, I don't know. But observe now, creating a situation, how you would listen. You would be listening, if the person is a very close friend, you trust. So you listen to this, whatever the person is telling you, but you will be thinking of what question to ask next. In case your trust level is a little lesser and it's just a let's say a worker category or a casual acquaintance, you're going to start thinking, is it true? Do I have to believe this? but then there was already a bus which was there, or there was already a caption. You can you see that you are not listening to understand. You're actually listening to reply. What will happen here? You may lose a genuine concern the person is sharing. Now, let's go to the next myth. The last and the most dangerous myth is that communication is over. What does this mean? Someone could just tell you, I have communicated to you. Or you could tell somebody, I have told you. This told is a common word. I've told you. And you consider the task over. But is it really over? No, not until the listener reproduces exactly what was said and the speaker confirms it. Now, for this, one of the examples I could give is what typically happens in a restaurant. Whenever we place an order, what do? We generally say, let me take the example of coffee. We say, please get me a coffee, get two coffees, one with sugar, one without sugar. Okay, I'm considering that everybody's health conscious, okay, not about diabetes now. So let's say the waiter says yes, goes. Invariably, what you get will be either 2 cups of coffee with sugar or both without sugar. Now, what do? What we normally do, we say, excuse me, only one with sugar, okay? One without. So what I will, and the person says, yeah, yeah. So in a small order, this is what happens. And in a big order, what do? We tell them, can you repeat the order, please? Now, if this is done, definitely you can say communication is over, but not so in reality. When whatever example I gave, you can translate to all the areas of your life, all the relationships where you're not experiencing 100% result, you will see that this has percolated too deep and it is very intense. And that could be one of the roadblocks to your relationship. So you can definitely work on this and put it in the comments. I can get back to you on this. Now, the single biggest challenge, again, the word. So the single biggest challenge in communication is that illusion that it has already taken place. I didn't say this. It is said by George Bernard Shaw, a great thinker. Now, what is the impact of all this on relationships? The impact of all this on relationships is you never feel full in a relationship. And what could be the reason? The base is partial or incomplete communication. What does this mean? It means you have said x plus y plus z. The person has got probably only y and z. Maybe the x was the most important sentence. Since this is not a workshop, I won't be taking examples and making you work on it. But my workshops are actually in real life situations and they actually make you do the work. So coming to no communication. Sometimes you have said it and the person has either forgotten or you have not done it and you're saying you have sent it. Anything can happen. So no communication is also a result directly of these myths. Coming to C, delay in completing a task, which is very often what you would have experienced and you continue to experience in workplace. I'm not saying it won't happen at home, but it's definitely in workplace. I can give you a live example. It happened. See, there was a receptionist and there was an accountant. So the receptionist went and asked the accountant, do you have stamps? And the accountant said, no. So the receptionist came back. She just stalled the work which was connected with some task. By the end of the day, when she was asked why she didn't complete it, she said because there were no stamps. And when the accountant was called and asked, don't we have postal stamps? He says, of course we have postal stamps. Then why did you tell her you don't have? He says, I thought she asked about revenue stamps. Now, hold. What is the mistake made by the receptionist? Receptionist assumes that the accountant knows which stamp she's asking. Now, she's not wrong, but she should have said, do you have postal stamps? Simple. Now, that doesn't let go of the accountant's responsibility. He is the only one who knows there are 2 types of stamps. So, what should he have said? He should have asked which stamps. Now, both didn't happen. So, this leaves us with an incomplete task. And I'm sure if this is what is happening at a workplace, how many things get undone or half done? And coming to undesired results. What are the undesired results? Just like the simple example of coffee, the undesired result is you don't want a coffee with sugar, or you want a coffee with sugar, and what you get is something else. So, this undesired result is a very, very vast subject because results can be undesired at various levels. Now, coming to what is the solution? That is the most important thing. One of the most important solutions. Having said all this, if I don't leave you with solutions, you're going to be very uncomfortable. So, what are the solutions? One of the solutions is rephrasing. What is rephrasing? It is a tool to confirm that the communication is complete. Now, what does rephrasing do? It helps things make things clear. Suppose you want a detailed response for rephrasing. What you do is you check that the recipient has really understood. So you say something like, so let's just run over that one more time. I think I'm going to do X and you're going to do Y. Is that your understanding too? And believe me, TOO2 is an awesome asset to communication. You can use it and it definitely triggers a person to listen to you and say, oh, what's this person thinking? I'm saying yes to. And they will definitely answer you. And that way, the two-way communication will be complete too. Now, what are the other tips? There are many tips which you will learn through the workshop because you will be doing hands-on in your life. It's not just a theory at all. Now, what are the other tips? As we already discussed, listening to, understand, and not reply. Catch yourself from today. And then, not assuming like the receptionist did and even the accountant did, which led to delay in work, and clarifying. Again, it is a small branch of rephrasing. Then, for a start, these tips are sufficient to start the transformation in your communication. Now, let me leave you with this insight. Everyone communicates, only a few connect. Will you be the one who will communicate to connect? Think about it. And in all your relationships, remember, people do not remember you for what you know about them. They rather remember you for how you made them feel. And your only access to that is your communication. So, what are you waiting for? Go all out, listen generously, apply and use any of the tips here, and open up a new world in your relationships. And for actually practicing it, please do connect with me. I am available. As I said, I am your life coach, Jayashree Harish, and a business and wellness coach. Do follow me on social media. You will get a response, and we can always collectively unleash the power to experience full self love and love for everyone. That's it. Over to Amit. And thanks a lot. Over to Gaurav also. And thanks to all the listeners, to all my co participants. And it has been a wonderful journey ever since Kushal connected us to this platform. And thank you. Be blessed. Communicate fully. Thank you.
Wow, a big round of applause for Mrs. Jayashree Harish. Wow, what a session. What a thought process. I would say, I mean, I love speaking and I got certain tips today which definitely will help me, and I'm sure Gaurav will agree and to this, and all the viewers across the globe who are watching us right now. Listening is very important, ladies and gentlemen. So if you keep listening, you will keep transforming, right? And to proceed with the transformation sessions today, once again, thanking you so much, Mrs. Jayashree Harish. Let's move on to the next speaker who will be introduced by Gaurav Kumar.